with breaking news. We first told you at 5, a group named True the Vote filed a federal election lawsuit over the U.S. Senate race. In it, they claim Democrats voted in the Republican primary. They named Secretary of State Delbert Hosemann, the state of Mississippi, and the Republican Party. This lawsuit comes on the heels of some new allegations of vote buying in the race. A Meridian minister claims he was promised thousands of dollars to buy votes for Thad Cochran. But 16 WAPT's Scott Simmons investigates. His story has holes.
A blogger at GodNews.com says he paid a Meridian minister for this interview.
He said, there's $15 a vote in each envelope. Then you just give it to the people as they go in and vote.
Stevie Fielder is a minister who claims that the Thad Cochran campaign promised him $16,000 to try and buy black votes at the polls. The Cochran campaign says that's absurd. They admit they did hire Fielder as a campaign worker in the Meridian area. They showed me the receipts for a $300 payment.
And this was an individual that we had paid a small sum of money to help us get out the vote in Meridian. And I guess he felt like he thought he could extort the campaign.
Vote buying allegations, the latest in what could shape up to be a challenge in last week's Senate primary between Thad Cochran and Chris McDaniel.
The Republicans need to run their primary, and the Democrats need to run their primary, and any other party needs to run their primary, not the state.
The Mississippi Secretary of State says if there is evidence of vote buying, that is a case for state and federal investigators.
Call Brazil.
4 Hinds County deputies stood guard Tuesday as the Republican Executive Committee went over the election results. The McDaniel campaign says they found 3,300 cases of voter irregularities in 38 counties.
Means we've not yet touched the Delta. We've not yet touched the absentee ballots, so we feel like there's plenty of evidence out there that we're going to uncover that would make it possibly right for a challenge.
Hinds County Republican Party Chairman Pete Perry claims the allegations of voter fraud in Hinds County are far off base. The McDaniel camp alleged that they found 1,200 questionable votes. They also question how Perry could be paid thousands of dollars by a super PAC that supported Thad Cochran.
So I was not paid by the PAC. Money was given to me that I used to run a program with.
Why is that not a conflict of interest?
Why is it a conflict?
Because you're the Hinds County Commissioner, Chairman.
And I tell everybody in that county that they ought to get involved in primaries.
I guess my reaction, Scott, is I've heard a lot of comments about this or that. I think we need to get to the point where either a challenge is filed or it's not.
State Party Chairman Joe Nasa says that could start Monday when the party turns those election returns over to the Secretary of State's office. For Commitment 2014, Scott Simmons, 16 WAPT News.